Open World is a legislative branch program, and what it does that other exchange programs don't do is link our delegates to representative government, that is, to members of the House of Representatives and senators.
Jim Symington, one-time director of the Open World program, which was the brainchild of my dear friend Jim Billington, the Library of Congress. He invited his colleague Ligachev in Russia to think of young Russians who were showing some promise, both young men and women, to come to this country and take a look at it and be invited to communities where they would get to know, the schools, the people, the stores, the life. So it was a marvelous way for young Russians to get to know what's like to be a young American.
15 years ago, Jim Billington began a program that has been creative and has brought a unique dimension to the exchange of citizens between our two countries.
I said that it would be great if we could get some of these younger people just entering the whole stage of leadership in the various areas, including the cultural area, in which leadership was all defined in the former Soviet Union.
The genius of Open World was that it allowed Russians and Americans to begin to understand each other at the level of actual everyday existence. And that's a very, very powerful thing.
I think Open World is a really important tool to have the kind of meaningful in-person dialogue and cooperation that bears results. And as someone from New Mexico who's deeply interested in the work that we've done over the years on non-proliferation, there is a lot to gain from these kinds of exchanges and things that really benefit both the United States and Eurasian countries like Kazakhstan.
Jim Billington understood that America is best when it shows what we can do. And he thought through how you would do that with a new Russia. That program bore the stamp of Billington creativity and the sensitivity that his partner Dmitry Ligachev brought to our relations.
To understand what is in their heart, what is in their mind, what is important to them, what makes them think, what is not important to them. To understand the ways in which you are different, the ways in which you are similar. These are the values that I see every day when I observe Dr. Billington and his work, and I am truly honored to be a part of this evening.
For 10 years, I've had the great opportunity to be a part of these groups of exceptional young leaders as they immerse themselves in American culture and professional life. Sometimes they start projects together. Sometimes they partner for the same cause. But always, 100%. They never forget each other for the rest of their lives.
I'm the Open World facilitator who help young, motivated leaders from Ukraine benefit their Open World experience in the US. You can say that I'm the bridge between the Ukrainian party, Ukrainian delegates, and their counterparts in the US, helping them meet and exchange experience and experience one each other's culture to the benefits of their communities.
They stay in people's homes. It's a human experience. And once it gets inside you, it really affects you. It doesn't just influence you. And that's what that affect, that's where affection comes from, affect. And this is an effective program because it's an affective program. It's a human experience, which Americans like. We like direct human experience.
And by staying with families and in communities throughout all 50 states, they really get to see an America that adds to their knowledge.
That's a great way to overcome all those misconceptions and stereotypes that people normally have about each other. But as soon as they get together, start talking, they realize that they have very much in common. And that's great.
And I think the thing that makes Open World unique is the fact that the alumni of that program have had the unique experience not just of seeing the United States with their own eyes, but actually living in the homes of Americans.
And you look to the Congress for that kind of support, and we sure got it from Senator Ted Stevens of Alaska, first-class fellow, who managed to get through the Appropriations Committee what was the funds that were necessary to bring this off, to do it. So grateful for him and to Congress for giving us a hand and seeing the importance of what we were trying to do.
With them. I remember going with Senator Stevens to Russia, and he actually met Likhachov. We had a dinner together, and I really felt that the best in America was meeting the best in Russia. Lo and behold, we got 2,000 people out of no program at all. Jim Symington, we enlisted him immediately because he'd been involved in exchanges. We worked with a bipartisan pair in the House of Representatives, Roger Wicker and Bud Kramer from neighboring states, so that we had kind of support from both houses of Congress. This was a congressional program right from the beginning.
The need for open world is as strong now as it was then, because even though we're changing minds and getting at the attitudes of people, it's a very slow process in two enormous societies which have a lot of conflicting and competing influence in them. And some of the political differences that we're experiencing now in the US-Russia relationship, I think, are a very good indicator of why we need to continue to work to promote understanding between Americans and Russians.
So it's an important milestone that we're celebrating in this program. It's been an extraordinarily rewarding, important program, and it's all for the future. It's only the beginning of what can be very rich in all kinds of unpredictable ways.
I'm happy to join you in celebrating the 15th anniversary of the Open World program. This wonderful program links rising professionals of Russia and the United States in a way that creates enduring bonds and deepens mutual understanding. I've seen the success of the Open World program firsthand, serving as ambassador in a number of East European countries. Open World provides a window into American life for the participants of Russia and other countries. Those professionals, in turn, have an opportunity to show Americans their own cultures and perspectives. Open World fosters an honest dialogue between our nations, but the program's benefits do not end there. They do not end when participants hop on the plane home. Here in Russia, the 15,000 alumni of the Open World program continue the friendships and the business relationships which they formed in the United States. They renew and they add vibrancy to our people-to-people contacts. Through their unique American experience, the alumni foster goodwill between our countries, even when our government officials don't always see eye to eye. So let me extend my congratulations and deepest appreciation to Jim Billington, first and foremost, a real American national treasure. 15 years ago, Jim worked with key members of the U.S. Congress, academician Dmitry Sergeyevich Likhachov, and my good friend and mentor, Ambassador Jim Collins, to create the Open World program. I also want to salute the dedication and hard work of my friend, Ambassador John O'Keefe, and his great staff. I wish all of you continued success in this vital program.
Jim, congratulations on an extraordinary achievement, and to all of the staff of Open World on a job well done.
I'm so pleased to congratulate Dr. Billington on the 15th anniversary of the Open World Leadership Center. And I look forward to seeing the next 15 years.
And so I think we all, when we look back at the program and when we look ahead to the continuation of the program, we have to come back to Dr. Jim Billington, whose spark of inspiration for this, whose guiding hand, whose sustaining patience and vision really made the difference, made this a unique and special program, and will continue to see it grow and evolve in the years to come. I wish him and everyone who's been working on and with and for Open World over the last 15 years another 50 years of successes.